Hello all, welcome back to my channel. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know we are all preparing to go into 2025. New Year's resolutions are going in place. We are planning mode. 2025 January implementation time. And before we start that, what are the things that you need to look into specifically if you are trying to migrate? Hi, my name is Mboyi. I am a nurse. I work and live in UK. In this channel, we talk about traveling, nursing, and everything else, including immigration. So I'm going to talk about one thing that I mentioned a while ago. I made a video on CV, how you can formulate a job LinkedIn CV, and I mentioned one thing there that I think most of the people are still not taking into consideration, the fact that that is actually happening. So let's get into today's topic. Right. When you apply for a job abroad, actually, let me put it like this. I am from Lesotho. Lesotho is a small country that is totally interlocked by the Republic of South Africa, and it's very small. Our population is about 2.1, 2.2 million, right about there. And we are a third world country, which means we are still lagging behind in almost everything. So for us to learn these things, we've got to share, especially when we are living in the first world. I am living in UK and I got to experience a lot of new things, and I was just shocked to the core. And the minute when I started working here, one of the nurses, I think she won't mind me mentioning her YouTube channel is called Mooki wa Mosotho. So if you have not seen that channel, go and look into that. That is the channel that inspired me most, because she is from my country and she is in the same profession as me, and she happened to share her journey on how she eventually came to be a nurse in UK. So that inspired me. And when I got into the UK, I went in because I was like, what I went through, I don't want anyone else to go through. I'm still saying the same thing even today. What I went through when we were applying with my friend, I don't want anyone to go through that. So we are sharing our journeys and our experiences just to make you aware of things, so that you can model your things in a way that you can find things easy. So today I'm going to tell you one thing that I mentioned before, but I think people took it for granted. When you apply for a job in a first world country, the first thing that goes through your CV is a software. So when you apply, most definitely, we don't send our CVs through the mail anymore. It's going through the internet. You type your soft copy and then you write your things and send through the email address. So this is what happens. There is a software that is named there are multiple names, but there's a software which is called the Applicant Tracking System and is attached to the recruiter's email. Meaning, at home, we are usually calling them the HR department. So here, the most common name that they use is, the most common word that they use is recruitment. So the recruiter's email will be attached to that software. So when you send through your email, and your email will contain your CV and your other documents that could have been requested, they go straight through that application. And that application, let me tell you, is programmed. Another thing that you need to know is that there are multiple things that you need to put into consideration before you apply for a job. There is a job advert. With a job advert, all the time there is a job description. All the time. And I hope you go through that job description when you apply, because all the time the advertisement will contain the job description. Like, it might take up to 2 to 3 pages on the newspaper or wherever you'll be seeing the advert. They do that on purpose. That job description contains keywords, they contain everything that they are looking for in that position that they are advertising. Yours is to model your CV according to the job description, which means when you apply for an advertisement, you are not supposed to just pick your CV that you use to apply on my company to apply for the next person's company. You need to edit that CV. This is why they will, all the time with the job advert, you will see update. Please attach updated CV. All the time they put that way. Attach to your email up-to-date CV. They put that on purpose because they know that we don't go through the job description. Most of the times, even us, the healthcare professional, are even worse because our work is always the same. But let me tell you, there are keywords in that job description. So the ATS, its job is to pick out the job, the what do we call this? The keywords. And other applications, more advanced applications, they are even able to put in questions that they want your CV to answer. So that software will have 3 or 4 questions in it that will definitely look for answers in your CV before a person can even touch your email. Immediately when it gets into their inbox, it goes through scanning. That ATS, it scans every CV that will be sent. So say that we are 50 and we applied on the same position. 50 of us will go through scanning. And then after that scanning process, that software will start its selection right away, immediately. If your CV does not contain the keywords and it does not answer the questions that were asked in that software, immediately, robotically, it goes into trash. Immediately. This means by the time the recruiter goes through the emails, yours is no longer there. It's a fact. And I hope you take this very seriously if you want to work in the first world. Right. Let's say you are fortunate enough, you were able to put on your CV in a way that the software can be able to pick the keywords and then pick the answers to the questions that may be put there. Format. Hey. The format. You need to be aware of the format. Guys, the CV does not necessarily have to be 5 pages. Even if you have your experience that warrants 10 pages, don't make it 10 pages. Format should be as simple as it can be. Britain or UK is English speaking. It does not necessarily mean you need to put bombastic words on your CV. As long as it's English, the software will be able to pick it. So use the simplest English you can think of. As long as it's understandable and precise, straight to the point, use it. Be mindful of the tables when you construct your CV. Number 1, the fault in some of the ATS application is that it cannot be able to read the table formats. So let's say you put your education in a table form, which is what I used when I applied. My first time when I applied for the job I am working, I think I used the table to present my educational background. But the ATS, some of the applications or some of the software ATS won't be able to go through a table. So immediately, if there is a table in your CV, it's going to blindside that portion, and it will look like you did not present your educational background. Therefore, it's going to chunk it to another group, the lowest group. Another thing is, if you are going to put things in one page and you have many things to present, make sure not to have two columns. Like, you have your personal data, educational background, experience, and then on the other side you have more experience, you have hobbies and references in one page, so it looks like it's 2 pages in one. I don't know if you understand the way it's going to read that format. It's going through one bullet in one straight line, so it's not going to be able to focus on one point and in its continuity. So this means it's going to mix things, and it will be just tlakantu to like mixed ideas in one CV, and it's totally going to mark you the lowest. So the fact is, when you make your CV, try to put it in one page, but be careful not to use tables or not to try to put them into 2 separate columns. As I have said, try to be as simple as you can. Be able to pick the keywords from the job description. That will simplify your CV. Make sure you update your CV for every application that you're going to make. There is one video that I put in. I am not sure if, well, I'll put it up here and if I can find it. And I showed you how many applications that I made before I got this job that I have. It's just multiple applications, which is really, really hard and seems to be impossible to update your CV for each advertisement that you see. So I want to give you an example of the keywords that I want you to be aware of. I think almost in all my videos or in all my responses in my inboxes or in my Facebook page, or I always say to people, apply even if there is a clause that says only for people that are in UK. Well, scratch that. Scratch that, because that is a key word. So most of the job advertisements that I have seen at present are saying you must have a PIN, or do you have a right to work in UK? If you answer no, you remember I said ATS, the other one might have questions in it. That is another type of a question that they put into the ATS software. Do you have a right to work in UK? And you answer no, your CV is already not going to be considered. So keywords are very, very important, and you need to be able to pinpoint out of the whole job description or the whole advert which are the keywords. And I mean, like, when you are asked that question, like, do you have a right to work in UK? If you don't have a COS, you don't say yes. You will just say no. If you don't have a job offer, if you don't have a visa, you don't have right to work in UK. So you must be able to to differentiate, like to pick out the keywords on that job advert. So I know most of us who are at home in Lesotho, we are applying mostly on NHS, because NHS is the bigger employer in UK. There are a lot of private facilities that you can apply to. Most of the times the adverts go in up today and tomorrow they are down, because there is a lot of people who are applying. Look into that and put alerts for the same search engine, so that when they upload an advert, you are able to pick it immediately and then apply right away. When you have an updated CV, it's not going to be difficult for you to re-update it for that particular advert and then send it right away. I know it's a lot of work, especially when you work in Lesotho. Our terrain is just, it's beautifully awful. Because there are hills, the network is problem. There sometimes you don't even have data to even see the alerts. So I completely understand, but if you are able to identify the alerts on time, put alerts on, so that when they upload them, immediately you get alerted. And well, those are the things that I wanted you to be aware of. And I am going to tell you again, it's not easy. It is not easy. So if you really want to work abroad and you want to put this as your New Year's resolution, please put more effort. Update your CV as needed. Pick the like, buy a note. Pick the keywords. Ask your friend. Talk. Like, even your social media. I'm like, you have Facebook, but you are not using it. Write a Facebook page. Like, say to your friends on Facebook, guys, there is this article, which in this article, what can you say the keywords are? There are generous people like myself. We can read through that thing and give you keywords. You might find ones that you did miss, you know. So make use of the resources that you have. Even if 1% of people on your wall will go through that 1% will make an impact. So that's all that I want you to be aware in 2025, because 2025 is a new year in few days. Thank you very much for watching this video thus far. I will see you in my next upload. Bye.